Hey guys, welcome to Genesis Flow, where I teach creators and business owners how to use AI to save time, increase revenue, and end creative burnout. I've been building automations for a while now, and this is one of the easiest workflow automations that you can build and sell to any business. I just sold this to a shipping company out here in Monticello, and the reason it sells is because most of the time when someone go and visit a website, it takes time for them to get a reply, and the longer the wait, the higher the chances of that person moving on to the competitor. So this kind of solved that gap between the response time and acquiring that customer. And that's why it's easier to sell to businesses. I'm going to show you how you can build a B2B system that instantly replies to your clients once they fill out a form. I will walk you through the entire process of how everything gets together, what you will need to do in order to achieve this, and then we will build the automation together. So in order for you to build this type of automations, you need to be able to basically do a couple of things. And what we need here basically is to be able to first know how we can capture the data. That's the first thing that we can do. And to capture the data, easiest way to capture information is through a web form. So you can use a web form on your website to basically capture that data. And when you capture that data from the website, you will need a way to send that data, and you need a place to send it. And we will go ahead and send that data to a platform that we will use, which will be make.com. So we will be using Make to basically do that. And once we get that data into Make, we will need a way to be able to store the data into a database. So you can use something like Google Sheet or you can use things like HubSpot, or you can use platform like Airtable. You can use any of these to store. In today's video, we will be going with Google Sheet. That's what we'll be using. And once we have that data stored, the next thing is we want to extract all of that and send it to an AI model that's going to pretty much write a custom email for that person and that specific request that they made. Today, we're going to be working with a cleaning business. That cleaning business is basically going to be receiving requests from our form here, getting the name, the name, the email, and their message, and then basically sending that here. We will store that information, and we will write that email for that specific client that reached out to the cleaning business. And then under here also, once we create that email, now we will find a way to basically route this two ways. And that is, we want to send an email to the client right away, to the customer, basically letting them know that, hey, we received your response and we've basically gotten it, and we will follow up with you at a specific time, or whatever the information is that you send to your business. And then the second side is basically to let you know, the business owner, like notifying the business owner that, hey, you got a new client and you need to follow up with them. So that's how the entire process comes together. And to do this, we will be using Make, as I said previously. That's what we will use to build the entire automation. So let's transition to Make. Now, before we can build anything in Make.com, we first need to create our database. And we will be using Google Sheets to do this. So let's go to Google Sheet first and create a database. And the business we're going to be building for today is a cleaning service business that's called Meridian Facility Care. Just going to abbreviate this as MFC. Leads. And what we are capturing is going to be the name, the email, message. And when we've captured all of that and sent the email and everything, we need the email status. For this particular one, we're going to use data validation. I'm just going to select about 25 rows here, and we will do data validation for this. And I'm going to add a rule here, and it's just going to be one option that says email sent. I'm going to hit done. And then when it was sent, so submit it, and so that will give us a time and everything. And I will do possibly just one more, maybe priority, perhaps. All right. So that's what we're going to get from the email. From the main thing that we want are these three right here. We need those. So our database is already set up. Now we can go to make.com and basically create the scenario. So we're going to come to make.com here and click create new scenario. And if you look at our process here, is we want to be able to capture the data. But then once we capture that data, we want to send that data to our database. And the way we can do this is by creating a webhook. A webhook basically receives data from external sources. And this is what we are going to use. So we want to create a custom webhook. I'm going to add one here, and I'm just going to say MFC contact form. Let's change this to leads. All right, and we're going to save this. Now, if you can see here, it says listening for data. We have to determine the data structure. So basically, this means someone goes to the website and fill out a form. To simulate this experience, I'm going to basically use Postman. And Postman will help us do the very thing that we will do when we have a website form. And all you're doing in a website form is you're sending this link to the website form to parse the data to it. So it's the very same thing we're going to do here. And what we want to send to the stuff is going to be something similar to this. And I'm just going to change the email here so that you'll be able to see the email at the end. And this is what we're going to send. But for now, we just want to determine the data structure. And you can see that when it says 200 OK. So if you check here, you're going to see 3 values detected and ready to map. So that data structure has been determined. We can hit save. And I'm going to save this here, and we're going to rename this automation MSC leads. Okay. Now that we capture our data and then we send the data, we need to be able to pretty much store the data. We need to be able to store that data, as I mentioned previously. So we're going to store it in our database that we just created. And for that, we will need a Google Sheet. So I'm going to do a Google Sheet here, and we want to add a row to that Google Sheet. So we're going to search by path in the drive, and I'm going to find that file here, and it's MFC leads. I'm going to select that. We're going to select the sheet. It's the table containing rows, yes. And we need to map the name, the email, and the message here, and we will save that. I'm going to go back here and save it again. All right. So we have this here. And now that we've captured the data, the next thing we want is we are going to extract this data and create a custom email for that specific request, right? So that's what we need here. And to do this, I'm going to use an AI model for this. I will use for this for there are 2 parts containing within this specific step. And one is we are going to create the email that we're sending to the customer, but then also we want to be able to extract that email as well. We want to be able to extract the email so that we can pretty much send it to the customer and also a notification here. So we're going to go back to this, and what we're going to use is I'm going to use OpenRouter for this, and we're going to use creator chat completion. And what I'm going to do here is basically get a message to this. We have a system prompt that you will have access to. The link is in the description. So a message, the content of this message is going to be this. I'm just going to walk you through this. Basically, we're instructing it as to who it is and what it does. We give it some details about the business itself, and we have some writing rules that it's supposed to follow. And then we have a classification measure, and we also have the output that it's supposed to give to us. Okay. And the role we're going to choose here is system. Model is going to be Opus. Opus 5. That's what we're going to use. And fallback automatically. We don't want anything. Now you can see it's giving us a priority, like presence penalty here. Just leave it as it is. And we're going to save that. Now that's the first part of creating the email. The second part is once we have those data, we need to be able to extract the data. And to be able to do this, we need to structure the data in some form. And we're going to use OpenAI for this. It's OpenAI. And I'm going to find a model here that's called a structured text data. So we're going to find that. I guess all the way at the bottom, transform text to structured data. So we're basically going to extract the text from in here, and that's what we're going to structure. Okay. So for this, what we're going to do, you will also have access to the prompts that I'm using in here for all of these things. So we're going to select our model here. I'm just going to select the any model here, maybe 4.1. But this is a reasoning, so let's just do a system 1. And the text that we want to parse is going to come from the previous model, which would be the message and the content. And the prompt that we want to use here is basically the source text that we're sending is a JSON stuff, and we want to extract like parts of the email. So extract each field as exactly as written. Do not rewrite, summarize, or shorten them. And once you have that, you need to define the data that you are extracting, each of the data that we are going to extract. So we need a couple of data here actually that we're extracting. And the first one, the parameter name, is going to be the status of the stuff, and description is going to be the lead or spam. We will need a data type is going to be text. An example would just be spam. So if it doesn't meet the criteria that we set within here, okay, so that's the first data definition. The second definition that we need is going to be we need the urgency. So we need the urgency. So this is standard or priority. And the data type is going to be text as well. Value, it's just going to be standard. Parameter required, make sure you say, this parameter is not really required and stuff. So we're going to skip that. This is definition number 2. Definition number 3, we are going to need the subject. We need the subject, and this is the email subject line. And data type is going to be text, and this is a reply. Maybe is the email subject. So we're just giving an example value and stuff in here. And for this one, it's required. We need that. And then we're going to add another definition. Number 4, this can load fast. This will be the greetings. And this would be for the greeting line. All right. Data type is text. Example value is hi, John. Okay. This is required. We need another data definition here, which is going to be the opening line. And the opening line basically is the first paragraph of the email body. This is going to be a text. Example value is going to be as for reaching out, we receive your email. Parameter is required. Yes. Another data definition that we will need is basically the body paragraph. So grap-ish paragraph. Yeah, I think that's how you spell it. So this is the second. Let's see. Paragraph. Okay, data type is going to be text. Value is going to be this is for your this is, I'm just writing random stuff here. Services value is required. And the next one that we need is the next step. So basically, this is based on the company that we're building this for. So this will be the closing paragraph. And the data type is also text. Value will be like one of our team member will follow up with you in 24 hours. Okay, that's if it's not urgent. And we need an internal summary here. Internal my summary. So this is team alert. Data type should be text. And it's going to be will you an email from blah, blah, blah. Required. And we're going to save that. So we have our data definition and everything, and we're going to save this here, save anyway. Now that we have basically extracted the email concept and everything, it's time for us to send the email to the customer and also notify the business owner. In order for us to do this, we will need a router, and a router will basically route to either of these. Okay, so we go back here and we're going to add a router, and we're going to do a Gmail here. That's what we'll be using. We're going to send an email. And to the recipient basically is going to be coming from the email that we got from the sheet. We got it. So this is going to be email. And the subject is going to come from here. This is why you need the structured data, right? Because without the structured data, you might not be able to extract the parse JSON and stuff. Now you could parse JSON. I just don't like using parse JSON. And then we want a raw email output, which you will have access to for this tutorial. So just that raw content. So just copy this and paste it in there. And that's what we will, it will just basically just well-designed email. Now we're going to replace these. So the greeting, we're going to replace that with greeting. The opening line, we're going to replace with the opening line here. The body paragraph, we're going to replace with body paragraph. The next step line, we're going to replace in there. And our message is already here. This is the message that they sent us. And that's everything that we need to replace here. Okay. And we're going to save that. I don't know why make keeps giving me error when we have the right thing. All right. So once we have that, we've sent the email at the same time. We're going to notify our team in Slack. Okay. We're going to send a message to Slack. Select from the list, public channel, and it's going to be from website form. And just a text saying you received an email from someone in there. So, okay, so we're just going to send a text to ourselves here just to notify us. And we're going to have this depending on your urgency level. So if urgency equals priority, and then we want an eternal summary. It's going to be here. All right, and then we're going to save that. Save this again, and save this. Save this anyways. All right, so that about wraps up the automation. Now, what's remaining is for us to test it and make sure that it works. So what we're going to do is run this once. I don't know why this keeps happening. I already added a priority. It's not even a feature that we need in the system. So I don't know why it keeps doing that. Okay, let's save this and see. All right, still want me to add a priority. That's crazy. All right, let's go ahead and put that in here. One. Let's save it. All right, so we're going to run this once, and we're going to send that data again. And we're going to see. All right, so it's running here. Hey guys, I just realized that some part of the video while I'm recording my head is over the selections that I'm doing and everything. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing in here so that way you know exactly what I was doing over there. Let's see here. So all I'm doing is, especially in the email model and also in the OpenAI, I'm basically clicking and mapping the value. So for the subject, I mapped it from here. And then in the email template that you have access to, I just map all of the things from the OpenAI model here. So basically, I have the greeting, the open line, the paragraph, the next steps, and then with the meetings, I mean the message, and then I go ahead and save it. The same thing with Slack. All I did was I changed and mapped the urgency and also mapped the internal summary from the OpenAI model. So I just wanted to make sure you know what I was doing over there so that you're not confused as to what I was doing because I just realized it was blocking that. All right, back to the video. All right. So it says everything is good. We did get our Slack notification. We got our email. So let's check the email. Did we get an email? Yep. Me to me. There it is. So we have our Meridian facility. Hi, John. Thanks for reaching out. We received your email. This is for your message. This is for your message. This is our services. No way. Our current cleaners keep missing the exam rooms and we have the help inspection. So I see here that it only went ahead and sent our predefined stuff. It didn't actually extract the stuff. So let's go ahead and check what happened. Okay. So we have our choice array collection. It's empty. All right. I want to see the output here. Ready when you are, paste your contact form submission. So one thing that I didn't do here is to map out the form and stuff. So that's where the problem is coming from actually. So what we're going to do is come back in here. And so I'm leaving this in the video because it's going to show you how you can basically come in, like you may build an automation and encounter problems and everything. And this is how you work through them. So the reason it's sending out generic output is pretty much because we never give it the inputs. So here's what we're going to do, service area and everything, and writing rules. So here are the values. Input. STOMER customer input. Okay. So we're going to go to name, email, message. Okay. I'm going to save that. And I'm going to run it with the old data that came in. So I'm going to use this and try it again. And this time, I believe we should get a different. I'm just going to delete this one while we're waiting. We should get a different output. Okay. So that went through. Now let's refresh here. Do we get the email? Yes. All right. This is not normal. So let's go back. Did I get the output? No, it never did. Output bundle choices, array collections is still empty. All right, so I'm gonna run this once. And we're gonna wait, and I'm gonna send this again. All right. And I'm leaving this part in the recording just so you guys have that in there and know that this is part of building automations and stuff. All right, let's check it again. Just got another, we should have gotten another one. There you go. Now we have the correct email. Basically gives us, I don't know if you can see that, but it tells us, hi, Marcus, you need nightly cleaning for 12,000 square foot clinic in Shore Shore with an inspection, blah, blah, blah. Meridian cleans facility of that size and everything. All right. And it gives us all of our line right in here with a well-designed email template. So that is the entire automation that you can build for your B2B instant responding. And this will help increase your revenue and also increase the amount of clients that you're getting. If you got some value from this video, make sure to subscribe and share the video as well.